Hi everyone, so sorry if I didn't get back to you, but we were watching a lesson about the knight. If you don't remember, go back to the previous video, but we're going to start the challenges. So the knight wants to reach the top of the chessboard and saying, can you find the move? So he wants to reach to the top, somewhere, there, maybe. So, go there. Good job. The knight jumps to the top of the chessboard. Knights love to be in the center of the action. Move the knight in the center of the board. So these are the four center squares. Not that one. Yes. So he wants to, right now he's not in any. So this one right in the center. Good job. The knight lands directly into the center. Yeah, that's great. Knight has one knight in the center of the board. Move the other knight to the center. So remember, these are the center squares this knight's already in. So bring them. Good job. Both knights are in the center of the board. Most of the knight squares are blocked by pieces. Can you find a forward move to bring the knight into the center of the action? So remember that knights can actually jump over pieces. For example, this one. Excellent. The knight jumps over its own pieces to the center of the board. Find the square for the knight that'll be able to reach all. Alright, so you need to move it oops, sorry guys. You need to move it somewhere. So then this knight can attack all of these. So this. So if you go queen, L, it comes this. When you go knight, when you go rook, L comes like this. But the other rook's L comes like this. When you go king's L, you come like this. So this is where the knight has to go. And then you do L, you can get there too. This pawn. What's the pawn?
The pawn sounds like it is the humblest of chess pieces, but it is really one of the most powerful. When working together, pawns are the soul of chess. Pawns have a few strange rules, so make sure to pay attention. Pawns can only move straight forward, and they can only move one square at a time. However, if it is their first move of the game, they can choose to move 2 squares forward if there is nobody blocking them, as pawns cannot jump over other pieces. Remember, the pawn can choose to advance 1 or 2 squares only on the first move. On all other moves, the pawn advances 1 square. Pawns are also the only piece in chess that cannot move backwards. One other thing that makes them strange is that while they can only move straight forward, pawns can only capture diagonally, and they can only
Isn't that so cool?
capture 1 square away diagonally, even if it is their first turn. We will explain capturing in one of the next lessons. Let's see some pawn moves. In this position, since this pawn has yet to move in the game, white decides to move it 2 squares forward. Black, on the other hand, only advances this pawn 1 square. Remember, even though you can move your pawn 2 squares on its first move, you're not forced to do so. White now advances the pawn forward, and now both pawns are blocked and cannot move. In this position, how many white pawns can move? If you said 1, you're correct. Notice that this pawn is blocked by the black pawn directly in front of it. Remember, pawns cannot move backwards. White now has the option to move this pawn up 1 square. Notice this pawn cannot move 2 squares forward because the black pawn blocks it. Now it's your turn to practice using the pawns.
Let's start, guys. Sorry if there's been a little problem in between that the sound got off, but hopefully you listened. White's pawn can move 1 or 2 squares on its first turn. Play the move that puts the pawn in the center of the board. So I move this pawn to the center of the board. Let's see. So these are the center squares, right? And this pawn there. So it needs to go to the center. It can move first up and then it can move second. Switch develops in the center. And this move does. Great job. So white has 2 pawns, but one of the pawns can move 2 squares on the next turn. Which one? So this one is on, it also gives you a little hint, but let's see. So if this is where the pawns normally rank. This is where the pawns actually start. But as you can see, this pawn, it already moved. So then this pawn cannot move 2 steps now. Look at the other pawn. This pawn can move 2 steps. Good job. White has 3 pawns, but 2 of them are blocked by black's pieces. Play the only move available for white. So check out this pawn. This pawn is trapped by this one. It can't go forward, and this one. They can't trip over pieces, and they cannot move diagonally. So then this pawn's remaining, and it can go 1 square since this is the file where the pawns start on both sides, black sides and white sides. So white's pawn may seem small compared to black's 2 rooks. Can you find a way to attack both in just one move? Remember, they attack diagonally, so let's look at this rook. Go down diagonally, go down diagonally, go up diagonally, go up diagonally, go up, there. So remember, so right now there's no pawns on this one. So then when you move this one, it has to go there. White's bishop is blocked from all directions. Move a pawn that opens up a diagonal for the bishop. So we have to move a pawn that opens up a diagonal. So all of the other ones are blocked, as you can see, unless this one has an opening diagonal. So this one.
Remember, your pawns are the only pieces that cannot move backwards. So what happens when they reach the other side of the board?
Sorry guys, but we'll be covering this topic in the next lesson because this is now on a different topic. So, see you guys later. Let me just direct you on how to do it. So when you go to new tab, you can go to chess.com to access all these sites. And then you actually, it'll give you sign in or log in, sign up or sign in. It's free. It's free for you to sign up. That's what I did. So that's how you get it. Just go to the learn section and pawn promotion. You go to, I think, on this one. I don't know, but let's see. Knight pawn. All right, so then you go here and it's this one. It says pawn promotion. You tap on this, and then it should give you the lesson. But also for homework, I'm going to start giving homework to you guys. So for homework, you have to practice the pawn and pawn. All right, because I want you to master that before you move on to the pawn promotion. So this is your job, or else you might not understand. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Bye, and like and subscribe.